I caught my fiancé sleeping with my sister, so I exposed them at our wedding. Hello everyone. I 23F. Never thought I'd be that girl. The one who gets betrayed by the two people she trusted the most. But here we are. Me and my fiancé Jake, 24M, had been together for 5 years. We met in college, moved in together and built a life I was proud of. He was sweet, smart, loyal, or at least I thought he was. My sister Emma, 26F, was the complete opposite of me. Wild, gorgeous, always the center of attention. We were never close. Honestly, it always felt like we were just forced to grow up under the same roof. A few months before the wedding, I started noticing little things. Jake got more secretive with his phone. Emma suddenly wanted to help with the wedding, something she'd mocked not too long ago. And whenever the two of them were around each other, there was this weird energy. Not romance, guilt. One night, Jake left his phone in the living room. I wasn't trying to snoop, I swear. But when the screen lit up, I saw a message from Emma. Last night was a mistake. We can't do this anymore. My heart dropped. I opened the conversation and what I found made me sick. Months of messages. Secret meetups. Her asking, "Are you really still going to marry her?" And him replying, "I feel stuck." I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I took screenshots. Saved them to a hidden folder. And right then and there, I started planning that I didn't confront them. Not yet. I 23F, acted like nothing ever happened. Smiled at Jake 24M, like I was still head over heels. Let Emma, 26F, send me Pinterest boards full of boho wedding inspo, like she wasn't stabbing me in the back. I saved every text. I memorized every fake laugh, every forced hug, every time they looked me in the eye and lied. If they could pretend, so could I. While they were out here playing the perfect little family, I was behind the scenes building something colder. I told my maid of honor, my real best friend Layla, 24F, everything. And we came up with a plan. Not loud. Not messy. Something surgical. First, I changed the password on our wedding playlist. Jake never touched that stuff anyway, so he wouldn't notice. Then I swapped out our first dance song with a voice memo. A crystal clear recording of Emma whispering, "I know it's wrong, but you make me feel something Jake never does." Followed by Jake saying, "I don't even know why I'm marrying her. I feel trapped." Straight from his own phone. I edited it together perfectly, clean, crisp, undeniable. Next move, I gave our wedding videographer a flash drive. Told him, "Hey, can you play this instead of the slideshow?" Right before the cake. He raised an eyebrow. I smiled and said, "It's a surprise for the groom." Oh, it would be. Every time Jake kissed me during the rehearsal dinner, I wanted to scream, but I didn't. I just smiled, because I wasn't walking into a wedding. I was walking into a war. The morning of the wedding was picture perfect. Blue skies. Soft breeze. Everything looked like it was ripped straight from a bridal magazine. People kept coming up to me saying, "You look so calm." And I'd smile back and say, "I'm just ready." If only they knew. Emma, 26F, showed up late to the bridal suite. No surprise there. Walked in like she was walking a runway. Laughing, holding her iced coffee, talking about how she accidentally stayed up late texting someone. I didn't even blink. She sat next to me doing her makeup and looked at me through the mirror. "Can you believe you're getting married today?" I met her eyes and said, "Yeah. Crazy how life works out." The ceremony started right on time. My heart wasn't racing because I was about to marry Jake, 24M. It was pounding because of everything that could go wrong. What if the flash drive failed? What if someone found the audio? What if Layla got cold feet? But everything was in place. Jake stood at the altar, smiling like he hadn't shattered everything behind that smile. I walked down the aisle with my head high, not as a bride, but as someone about to make her move. Vows went down without a hitch. Too smooth. Jake even cried a little. Emma too. Not out of guilt, I'm sure, just trying to sell the lie. Then the reception. Time for the first dance. Lights dimmed. Jake took my hand, led me to the center of the floor. The music started. Except it wasn't music. It was her voice. "I know it's wrong, but you make me feel something Jake never does." The room fell silent. Then came his voice. "I don't even know why I'm marrying her." I feel trapped. Gasps. Whispers. A glass shattered somewhere. Jake froze. Emma jumped to her feet so fast her chair hit the ground. And me? I kept dancing. Alone. Like I should have been all along. The room went dead silent. Then a chaos. Whispers shot across the hall like wildfire. A few guests pulled out their phones. My aunt gasped so loudly it echoed. Jake, 24M, just stood there, completely frozen, his face pale, his mouth slightly open like his brain couldn't catch up with what he'd just heard. What was that? He finally stammered. I looked him straight in the eye. That was the real you. Emma, 26F, jumped to her feet, already crying loud, fake, dramatic. How could you do this to me? She shouted. To her? The audacity actually made me laugh a little inside. My mom rushed up to me, grabbed my arm. Is this some kind of joke? I pulled my arm away and said, No, Mom. The joke was them lying to me for months while smiling in my face like nothing happened. Jake tried again. It didn't mean anything. It was a mistake just once. I cut him off without hesitation. I have months of texts, Jake. Months. You really think I'd nuke my own wedding over one stupid mistake? The DJ just stood there, totally confused. Music paused. Room silent. No clue what to do. So I grabbed the mic. I wasn't shaking. I wasn't crying. I was just done. To everyone here. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry you had to see all this, but I figured the truth is better than a fake fairy tale. I took a breath. There won't be a wedding today. But hey, maybe there can still be a celebration. A few people clapped. Some awkwardly. Some out of support. A couple of my friends even stood up and cheered. Jake stood there frozen like he couldn't move. Emma bolted, heels clacking against the floor. My mom chased after her. My dad just stayed in place watching me. He didn't say anything, just gave me this quiet nod. Like he understood. I wasn't sure what came next. But one thing was clear, this story wasn't over yet. The wedding was off. The truth was out. And social media? Oh, it exploded. By the next morning, clips of the voice memo were already all over the internet. Someone at the reception had posted our first dance, or what should have been our first dance, on TikTok with the caption, "She exposed the groom and her sister mid-wedding. Absolute savage." It hit 1 million views in under 24 hours. Jake's family? Absolutely mortified. His mom sent me some weak, awkward text. I had no idea. "I'm so sorry you were hurt." But his dad? He messaged me privately and said, "That boy needed to be humbled. I'm proud of you." That one actually made me laugh. As for Emma, she disappeared. Deleted her socials. Didn't show up at work for a whole week. Mutual friends said she was devastated and humiliated. Good. She tried texting me once. Just once. I messed up. I know I did. But you didn't have to destroy me like that. I left it on read. Because here's the thing. You don't get to destroy someone in private and expect to be protected in public. Jake, on the other hand, went full damage control. He sent me an email. A literal multi-paragraph email filled with justifications, apologies, excuses, and begging me to take this offline. Too late for that. I didn't answer. Didn't even think about it. Instead, I packed a bag, unplugged my phone, and drove out to a cabin with Layla and a couple close friends. No drama. No noise. Just quiet. And somewhere in that silence, I realized something. I wasn't sad. I wasn't even angry anymore. I felt powerful. Because they tried to break me. And all they did was set me free. When I got back from the cabin, I was hoping for peace. What I got instead? A full-blown family meltdown. My mom was waiting for me. Sitting on the stairs of my apartment building like she was straight out of a soap opera. The second I stepped out of the Uber, she stood up and said, "We need to talk. Now." I didn't want to. Not even a little. But I knew if I didn't let her in, she'd just keep showing up. So I opened the door and let the storm in. And she didn't waste a second. "Do you have any idea what you've done to this family?" Emma hasn't stopped crying. "Your father's embarrassed. Your aunt says people at church are talking. You humiliated us." I stood there. Let her finish her rant. I didn't say a word. And when she finally ran out of breath, I asked, "Are you seriously mad at me?" I'm the one who got cheated on. She shot back without hesitation. You could have handled it privately. You didn't have to make it a spectacle. You planned it. Yeah, I did. And I don't regret a single second of it. I looked her in the eye and said, you raised me to be strong. So I was. You raised me to stand up for myself. So I did. Sorry if that's inconvenient for your church friends. She blinked. For once she had nothing to say. Then I added, tell Emma this. Actions have consequences. If she's just now learning that? Honestly, good. My mom didn't say another word. She picked up her purse, walked to the door, and slammed it shut behind her. And honestly, that slam sounded like freedom. 2 days after my mom stormed out, I got a text from a number I'd already blocked. Emma, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but please can we talk? Just once. I need to say something. For a second, I thought about ignoring her, pretending she didn't exist. But then I thought no. Let's hear it. Face to face. No more hiding. So I agreed to meet. Neutral ground. Some random cafe across town where no one knew us, and no one cared. She showed up looking like she hadn't slept in days. No makeup. Puffy eyes. Hair thrown into a messy bun like she'd just rolled out of bed. And for a split second, I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. She sat down across from me. Didn't even order anything. Just looked at me and said, I screwed everything up. I didn't say a word. I was jealous, okay? I've always been jealous. You're the smart one, the one who gets things right. I don't even know why I did it. I didn't love him. I stared at her. Calm. Cold. Tired. Then why? I asked. She shrugged. Because he paid attention to me. Because I could. And right then, I knew. She wasn't sorry for what she did. She was sorry she got caught. I stood up, grabbed my bag, and looked her in the eye. I came here hoping you changed. Grown up. Learned something. But you're still the same selfish little girl you've always been. She broke. Full on sobbing. Ugly crying in the middle of a quiet cafe. People started glancing over. But I didn't care. I wasn't her sister in that moment. I was the woman she couldn't manipulate anymore. And I walked out. No apology. No hug. No guilt. Just peace. And this time, I didn't look back. After that meeting with Emma, I was done. Done with the apologies that weren't real. Done with people who only show up when it's easy. I decided it was time to focus on me. I got back into the gym. Full-time at work. Started saying yes to things I used to put off. Even joined a women's networking group for people in marketing. And that's where I met Ethan, 27M. He wasn't like Jake. No fake charm. No smooth pickup lines. He just listened. Actually listened. It started with a conversation about a campaign, after one of our events. And then out of nowhere he said, you've got a fire in you. Like you've been through some real sh*t. And came out sharper. That line hit harder than anything Jake ever said to me. Over the next few weeks, we started talking more. Grabbing coffee. Sharing ideas. Not dating. Not yet. Just vibing. And you know what? It felt good to be seen as something other than the girl who got cheated on. He didn't look at me like I was broken. He looked at me like I was powerful. Like I handled the worst and came out stronger. Meanwhile, Emma tried again. Please unblock me. I miss you. Delete. No reply. That chapter is closed. But apparently, not everyone was done with the drama. Because guess who slid into Ethan's DMs a week later? Yup. Jake.it was late. I was getting ready for bed when my phone buzzed. A message from Ethan. Just a screenshot. And one simple question. You know this guy? I opened the image. It was Jake. In Ethan's DMs. Sending the most pathetic, manipulative crap I'd ever seen. Just thought you should know what kind of girl you're dealing with. She's not as innocent as she seems. Ask her what she did to her own sister. I sat there for a second, just soaking it in. The desperation. The weakness. Then Ethan texted again. This the ex? I replied with one word. Yep. A few seconds later he sent. Don't worry. I already blocked him. I don't entertain cowards. I actually smiled. Like full-on grinning at my screen. I didn't even have to ask. Ethan just knew. That same night, I posted a little Instagram story. Nothing obvious. Just a boomerang of me and Ethan clinking coffee cups, both of us laughing. No tags. No caption. But the message was loud and clear. A few minutes later, I checked the views. Jake had seen it. Emma too. And the best part, I didn't post it to make them jealous. I wasn't playing games. I was just happy. Genuinely, quietly, peacefully happy. No lies. No secrets. No pretending. And for people like them, that's the worst kind of revenge, that it's been a few months. No more DMs from Jake. No more texts from Emma. Even my mom stopped trying. I guess they finally got the message. I'm not playing their game anymore. I'm not their doormat. I'm not the nice girl they can guilt trip into silence. I'm done. And no, I didn't get the fairy tale wedding I dreamed about. But I got something better. I got closure. I got clarity. I got control. I moved into a new place. Got promoted at work. Took a solo trip to Greece. Just me, my camera, and zero emotional baggage. As for Ethan, yeah, we still talk. Sometimes more than talk. But I'm not rushing anything. For the first time in a long time, I'm not living by someone else's timeline. I'm living by mine. And sure, maybe I lost a fiancé. Maybe I lost a sister. But you know what I gained? Peace. Real quiet earned peace. And that's priceless.